If you're like me, then you don't own a boat. So going and fishing the big lakes is limited to fishing from shore. And if you're going to be fishing from shore, maybe you don't want to go super far to a big lake. Maybe you want to find somewhere local to you. That is why urban fishing is a thing. A lot of people don't realize it, but there are tons of spots to go fishing that might be like walkable from where you live. So today I'm going to be going over A to Z, everything you need to know about urban fishing. I'm going to put timestamps in the video so you guys can kind of come back to stuff or skip around. So whatever you need to do, it's there for you. In this video, I'm going to first talk about what kind of urban settings there are, how to find different fishing spots in the urban scene, what kind of tackle you want to use, what kind of bait you want to use, and then we're going to put everything together. We're going to go find a spot and we're going to fish it and hopefully catch a couple fish. When it comes to urban fishing, a lot of people think of just the ponds like the ones that are behind me where it's government ran, government owned. They're like community ponds that are meant for fishing. But there's actually a lot of different kinds of urban fishing. So this one is definitely the most common you'll find, but I would put it into 5 tiers. Tier 1 is community fishing ponds like this one. Tier 2 is water that is publicly accessible, but isn't really like stocked with fish or anything like that. 3 is what I like to call HOA ponds, which I'll get into later. 4, we got private property that is not meant for fishing but has fish, and then we got private property that is for fishing specifically. That brings us to tier number 1. You got community fishing parks, usually ran by your local government. In this case, ours is ran by Arizona Game and Fish. They're stocked with usually rainbow trout or channel catfish, and they're really just designed for beginners to come out and try to catch some fish. The one downside to these community ponds is there's just a limited amount of species. You're pretty much largemouth bass, bluegill, channel catfish, rainbow trout. That's pretty much it. The next spot we're going though, you can get a lot more species. Let's go. All right, well, we've made it to a tier 2 spot. The most common type of tier 2 spot where I live is a canal. And that's basically water that is publicly accessible, but it's not like stocked. Like canals, they're not putting fish in here outside of like grass carp. So any bass, tilapia, crappie, everything that's in here gets here from river system and reservoirs and stuff. So any canal or aqueduct near you, it should be open to the public. There are a couple canals that aren't fishable. They're illegal to fish. But for the most part, just about every canal that we have here is fishable. And unlike the last spot, you're not limited to species. There's probably anywhere from 10 to 15 species of fish in this single canal alone. So that's what makes them super cool. Plus it's a really cool scene. There probably are other examples of like tier 2 fishing spots. They're not really like fishing spots, but they are public and there is fish in them. Moving forward. Well, that brings us to tier 3, which is something I call HOA ponds. They're open to the public, but they're not maintained by any government or any like game and fish or anything. This is Dobson Ranch. There's no signs anywhere that say residents only or anything like that. Tons of fish in here. As you can see, there's houses in the background. It's usually like people living on the water, but this is open to the public. You can come here and fish. So that's a really good, this is probably like my favorite tier to fish because there's no risk and there tends to be some pretty cool fish. And tier 4 is something not a lot of people would expect. Let's go. All right, that brings us to tier 4 urban spots, which are spots that are not public and they're not really meant to have fish either, but they do, which is, it's kind of like a weird mix. So I got a golf course behind me. I'm actually technically on the public side, but you can fish some golf courses. They'll let you fish. I have a golf course that lets me fish and they're super cool about it. So it's not like open to the public like it's a public park, and they don't like stock fish either, but there are fish in them just because they get their natural ways and stuff. So golf courses are some of the best urban fishing spots. If you find a golf course that can let you fish, I would definitely recommend doing it. Along with golf courses being tier 4, there's also some other stuff that would be tier 4. And another example of a tier 4 fishing spot would be this business complex. These ponds, I believe, are here strictly for decoration. I mean, I don't know what other reason they'd have these ponds here for, but there is a bunch of fish in them. However, even though it's not a fishing pond and they do have fish, they will not let you fish here. At least for this spot, they have 24-hour security. I got kicked out when I came fishing here the first time. So we're here at a tier 5 fishing spot. These are the places that they're pretty much the same as a tier 4 spot, only they are specifically fishing ponds. Like last spot, it's private property. They don't want you fishing there, but it's not really a fishing pond per se. This is literally a fishing spot. Let's go look at the sign up here. We saw a no fishing sign on the way in, and right here it says no trespassing, violators will be prosecuted. If you are not a resident of this place, pretty much zero chance you're gonna end up fishing here. But there are a couple ways that you can fish these tier 5 spots. One, it's gonna sound obvious, but know someone who lives here. Like if I know Dale or whoever that lives in that house, just say you're with them. Or you can test your chances. I mean, the sign doesn't technically say no fishing. If you want to test it out, I'm not condoning trespassing. All I'm saying is there are spots that don't really care as much as their signs say they care. So if you get arrested though, it's not on me. Now you know the 5 tiers of urban fishing spots that I came up with. Let's find out how to find these spots. How did I find all these spots in this video? Let me show you real quick. We got to run back to the car. There's really 3 methods I use when it comes to finding fishing spots. The first one might seem pretty obvious, but it's literally just keep an eye out while you're going places. Some of my best spots have come from while I'm on my way to work, while I'm on my way to a friend's house. You drive by, you're like, oh, that looks pretty good. That's a canal or a pond or something. If it's water, I can pretty much guarantee you there's gonna be some kind of fish in there. Just give it a shot. Worst you can do is skunk. The second method, which is a method I don't see a whole lot of people doing, is literally hopping on maps, like on your phone or computer, and looking around. That's how I found, if you guys have been watching my channel, my micro irrigation ditch that I did. I found a spot that has smallmouth bass in a little ditch like that. Literally, I open maps like I'm gonna do right here. You open maps, you have different modes like satellite, whatever. I just go to explore if you're using Apple Maps. And you could just like zoom out and find somewhere like, oh, there's this little blue thing right here. What is that? I've never fished this before. I don't know what this is, but there's a bunch of water. Like it could be a good spot. And then there's a third method, which is pretty much the best method to finding fishing spots other than exploring. And that is FishBrain. And no, I am not sponsored by FishBrain. Pretty much all fishermen already have FishBrain, but literally, I mean, people say, how do you find your spots? A lot of times it's just FishBrain. Like hop on FishBrain. You go look around, like where I'm at right now, like I can see what people's logged catches are here. Looks like there's a new catch right here. Some guy caught a bass. So it's like, now I know that there's gonna be bass in there. The other thing you can do is like set an area. So I set area pretty much the entire like Arizona area. But you can go in here and select like, if I wanna find a spot that has smallmouth bass, I can click on smallmouth bass, start scrolling down like, okay, boom, here's this guy. He got a smallmouth bass. You can see location. It says Picacho Reservoir, and you know, I can pull up to this place and go fishing. Now a lot of people lie about where their fish are. They either log them at a different spot or they put them as private spots, and that's, you know, you got to look for consistencies and try to see if like, oh, there's a lot of people catching smallies in this area, then it's safe to assume that that spot has smallmouth bass. So FishBrain, going out and exploring, look on Google Maps, you'll find any kind of body of water, just go fish it and it could be amazing. It doesn't have to be a big lake. Like literally, like I fished like tiny little irrigation canals on the side of the road and they have fish. With that being said, we're gonna run down to my local Walmart and I'm gonna talk some gear and bait with you guys. All right, as far as tackle goes, it's super straightforward. You don't need to go spend $500 on a combo. You don't need to use heavy line or anything like that. I will actually show you. Right up here, this is one of 2 rods I use in every one of my videos. This is the Berkley Lightning Rod, 46 bucks. You don't need to go anything that crazy either. Like, my first combo was 20 bucks from Walmart and I used it in like half my videos. But also Ugly Sticks, the GX2, $50 rod. I use this in all my videos still. So it really doesn't need to be complicated. You don't need to go super heavy gear. I recommend like a medium action rod for like everything. And then hooks is something I see people mess up on a lot. People use like really big hooks. Like I'm talking like this. They'll be using this for like carp fishing and bluegill. Like this is huge. And also the wrong hook. If you want just an all-around basic hook that you can use, these are actually what I use in my videos. This is size 6 octopus hook. You can go normal J hooks and stuff too, but that's like a universal hook. As far as line goes, where is line at? You can use this stuff. I have used it. I recommend like something a little nicer because this stuff gets tangled really easily, but 8-pound line, that's like a perfect universal line. But I would recommend somewhere in the 4 to 12 pound range. The biggest fish I've caught in the urban scene on rod and reel was 16 pounds and I caught it on 10-pound line. So you don't need to go 40-pound braid to go catch catfish and stuff like that. Big lakes might be a different story, but as far as bait goes, it's another thing I keep super simple. If you don't really care what you catch and you want it to be universal, you cannot go wrong with night crawlers. You can pick these up at pretty much every local tackle shop, as well as your local Walmart. I also use bread. This is another one that gets eaten by a lot of different fish. You do have more success with bread than night crawlers for certain species, so I tend to take both of those out with me, or corn, and you get a good variety of fish doing that. As far as like predatory stuff, if you want to keep it super simple, rooster tails, they'll get it done. You can catch bluegill, tilapia, bass, even catfish I've caught on rooster tails. You can pretty much catch everything. If you want to go drop shot, you know, robo worm or something, you can go as crazy as you want to. If you want to throw around a 7-ounce glide bait or something, it's totally up to you. There's no rules, but this is the kind of stuff that really just gets everything. Worms, bread, rooster tail, like, you really don't need much more for urban stuff if you're trying to just like go out and have a good time, not catch anything specific. So now you've learned about all the different kinds of urban spots there are, how to find them, what tackle you should use, what bait you should use. Let's run out, put all those things together, and go catch some fish. All right, I've kind of just pulled off the side of the road here. So I've got a couple rods that, as you just seen, are at Walmart. I got some worms and I've got some bread from Walmart. We're gonna pull up maps here, and there's quite a bit of water around here. I've fished this place a ton of times, so we're gonna go to a spot that I normally fish along here. So like this spot, for example, I can look up, this is right off the corner of Queen Creek and Dobson. I can open up FishBrain and go to their map, and it literally has a ping. It can show you where you're at. And so I look right on the corner, Queen Creek and Dobson, and holy cow, you can see there's literally, just in this little section, there's 840 logged catches and tons of new catches. Tons of carp, Rio Grande cichlid, channel catfish, bass, tilapia, tons of stuff here. So we're gonna run right here to this spot. We just confirmed that it could be a good fishing spot just because of all the logged catches there. Let's run down there real quick and throw some worms and some bread in the water and show you just how easy it can be to find some urban spots and how good the fishing can be there. We're here at the spot we've just found on maps and FishBrain. This one I would kind of classify like in the middle of like a tier 3 and a tier 5. This is a dedicated fishing pond and it's meant for residents only. So in that sense, it's a tier 5, but pretty much everybody fishes here. I mean, I have a pass to fish here, but literally like everybody and their mother comes here anyway. And the worst I've ever seen happen is somebody comes and tells you, hey, you're not allowed to be fishing here, and they kick you out. I do have a pass, so if somebody comes and asks, I can show it to them. But pretty much just like any fishing spot, you know, same idea. Look it up on Google Maps or something, look it up on FishBrain, show up and see what it's worth. We're gonna get set up here. I left my bait in the car. Lovely. I'll be right back. All right, crisis averted. Okay, so using our Walmart rods, our bread and our worms, and some size 6 hooks, which I actually need to throw on real quick. Forgot I had different stuff on. There was like 2 giant carp right there. I think they're spawning. There is no more universal hook than this, I would say, because I have caught some big fish on hooks this size, and these will catch small fish like bluegill and stuff. I see people all the time using like 1/0 hooks for like bluegill and carp and stuff like that. So, is that a bird? Something behind me just jumped or dove. But size 6 is about the only size hook I use in the urban scene. Just because I saw these giant carp up right behind me, I'm gonna start with some. Oh my gosh, you see that? They're spawning. They're literally spawning right now. We shall see. But yeah, see if we can catch some fish. It's the middle of the day, but that doesn't make it impossible to catch fish. This makes it maybe a little harder. Okay. On this rod, I think I'm gonna throw a night crawler out with no weights or nothing. It's night crawler, size 6 hook. Kind of want to throw a full crawler, but nah, I'll cut it in half. Ugh. Okay. Yummy. Oh, I actually see an outline of a fish right there. You think he'll eat the night crawler? Let's see. It looked like a bass or something. Let's see if all of our techniques can pay off today. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. I don't see green anywhere, bro. Oh! Just kidding about unlucky. Ah! We're talking about how I'm unlucky because it's St. Patrick's Day. And it's supposed to be a lucky day, but I keep missing all my fish. Okay, I know the drag's... Okay. But like, every time I tighten it, it breaks off. Watch, watch. Oh! Catfish, maybe? I clicked it tighter, but this is how we just broke off our last 2 fish. Oh! Okay, he's not stopping. Okay. Look how far he is out there. All right, if I tighten my drag anymore, it's gonna break off. This is 4-pound line. Like I told you guys earlier, 8 to 12 is pretty good. I like fishing 4-pound line because it's a little more challenging, but you know, we're gonna just do it anyway. Just gotta see if we get this guy. Whatever it is, it's like, it's not letting me move him at all. Look at, oh, did you see that? I don't know what that was, but it made a big splash on the surface. This is a big fish, bro. You can tell by the way they move. It's not as like rapid, like it's like these big, oh, big heavy body shakes. He's way out there still. Oh my gosh, he's winning this battle by a long shot. Oh my goodness, that thing is fat, dude. Oh, oh, stop it. I cannot muscle this fish. This is why urban fishing's awesome. I could have gone to a big lake and probably skunked, but come out, you know, 20 minutes from my house, and here we are with a monster fish on the other side. Okay, we gotta be gentle. No muscling. No muscling. That's how we lose fish. No, I felt him with my net. He's pulling away again. He's pulling away, guys. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What a fish to catch. To show you as an example. Just kind of what fish can live around these parts. I can't go under the tree where he's at. Oh my gosh, this fish is not letting me pull him in, no matter what I do. 4-pound line, it's just not happening. Woo! You see that thing? That dude is big. That dude is big. There he is. I'm gonna take a like 10-minute break before we go weigh this guy. This has got to be a double-digit fish. Let's go weigh him and find out. You can tell he's pre-spawn. He's so fat. Yep, right at 10 pounds. Oh, it's crazy. This fish is an attitude, man. Our urban fish. Crazy, man. Well, I told y'all pretty much everything you need to know to get started. What kind of urban spots there are, how to find them, what to use at them. And as you see, it worked. Definitely give urban fishing a try. It's super fun. Like, I could come out and catch that 10-pound fish faster than it would take me to get to the lake I would want to go to. So definitely worth it. If you learned anything from this video and found it useful, hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much. Love y'all, man. I'll see y'all next week.